Welcome to this space, the cottage here in Hermann, Missouri. I love that owner Keely was open to thinking differently about how to use her Airbnb space. So today we're at this beautiful cottage in Hermann, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. She's on 11 acres and it is a chilly morning this morning, 14 degrees, but we are out here and just loving that there's a bit of sunshine coming through. Today we're going to do some yoga, some mindfulness, and some forest bathing to really awaken the senses, release the stuck energy, and just explore what it means to live well across all the areas of our life. This morning we're going to start with some forest bathing. So forest bathing is a very ancient practice. It's called Shinrin Yoku. It's a Japanese practice. And the idea is that you go to nature and you awaken your senses. So the simple act of being in nature and allowing it to bathe you is can be a very peaceful practice and allow you to sort of open yourself to understanding who you are in this phase of life and what you need to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Feeling our feet touching the ground, the soles of our feet, feeling held by the ground. Allowing that energy to travel up through our calves, through our knees, through our hips, through our torso, through our heart, through our throat, through the crown of our head. And just feeling that energy washing over us as we begin to arrive in this space where we can just be. There's no other place we need to be right now. And actually, maybe just crossing our arms, having a little gratitude to ourselves for showing up this morning. There's so many other places we could have been, things that are calling our attention, especially during this holiday season. So you might, if you feel comfortable, soften down the eyes, or even close them, and just arrive in this space. Maybe you start to notice your breath. Not locking out the knees. There's no right way to do this, so do what feels good in your body. And just listening to your breath, feeling grateful for being here on this earth today. And then release the arms, bat the eyelashes open. Just arrive back in this space. With forest bathing, you can tap into awakening the senses. So I love to start with the sense of sight and just paying attention, not standing in a particular posture, not even being in a specific space. You can walk around, you can hold still, but just looking around at the things that you see. Maybe you've never been to this space before, and so this is all new. Or maybe this is a space that you've come to many times. Whatever it is, can you find something new? Maybe it's the moss growing on the rocks. Maybe it's the berries on the tree. Maybe it's the ivy growing. Maybe it's a cat walking by. Maybe it's a bird in the tree. Maybe it's a gentle branch blowing in the wind. Whatever it is, just notice it. Go. When we take time to just become aware of our senses and what we see, we can begin to see things that maybe we haven't noticed before. And it allows us to maybe consider it from a different perspective, or stop and maybe consider something that's bringing us joy. And we'll shift our attention from the things that we see to the things that we hear. And you don't have to let go of looking around. Like I'm noticing now that the sun is starting to peek through and shine on this beautiful rock in front of me. And I'm still aware of that and seeing that sight. But now I'm tapping into what I hear. It might be the sound of a car going by or someone talking. It's all part of life. We have those things happening in our lives, and we can choose to let go of them and just focus on what it is we hear. Maybe you hear the whooshing of the wind through the trees, or you hear your breath in and out. And with that hearing, you also see on the exhale your breath. Spend a couple of moments just listening to what you can hear. Now we'll turn our attention to what we can smell. So, taking a deep inhale in through the nose, is there something that you smell? Maybe a fragrance that's pleasing or displeasing. Maybe in nature, they're smelling the earthiness, or there's a flower nearby that has a fragrance. Whatever it is, just notice it. Combined with what you hear, the rustling of the leaves, and what you see, and gently dancing, the crunching of the leaves as you walk. Just begin to notice. Now we've done 3 of the senses: the sight, the sound, and the smell. We're going to transition to what we taste. So just take a couple of swallows. Maybe move the tongue around in the mouth, lick the lips. Notice what you taste. Maybe it's morning time, so maybe it's the coffee you had this morning, or the tea, or the mintiness or other flavor from the toothpaste you used. It doesn't matter, just begin to notice. Maybe it's no flavor at all, and that's okay too. Pair that with all of the other senses we've experienced. And finally, let's tap into the sense of touch. So think about what you're touching as you go by. Maybe you're touching a rock and you feel the solidness. You're touching a cat. And you're petting a kitty who's out here in the forest with you. She's so happy to be here with us. Maybe it's you're feeling the crunch of the leaves underneath your feet. Or you pick up a leaf and you feel it in your hand. Just notice what that feels like. And that this leaf was once alive. Notice the different patterns. You can feel what it feels like to be in this space. I'm feeling maybe the sun shining on me a little bit. I'm feeling the cat come up to me. I'm feeling the rise and fall of my breath. I'm feeling very peaceful. By tapping into all of your senses, you can begin to arrive and consider what's coming up for you, what you might need in this space and time. And it may be that you need nothing, but it gives us this time to step away from the busyness of our lives and just consider who we are in this phase of life, where we're headed, and what supports we need together. Thank you for joining me for Shinrin Yoku Forest Bathing.